Two very painful Game 5s last night as the Warriors steal Game 5 in Sacramento, forcing a win or go home Game 6 for the Kings, while the New York Knicks bully the Cleveland Cavs as the Cavaliers season is officially over. You know what? This doesn't even deserve the let's ride. Give me my damn music. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for an all-new episode of the post-game podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Sacramento Kings. This is Let 'Em Know Kings! And welcome to episode 14 of Let 'Em Know Kings, the post-game podcast of the Sacramento Kings and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Two very painful Game 5s last night as the Sacramento Kings are now on the brink of elimination due to a 123-116 defeat at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or I should say a 123-116 defeat at the hands of the Golden State Warriors, correction. And the Cleveland Cavs season is officially over, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on the last segment of today's show going in on the Cleveland Cavaliers because they deserve another verbal ass whooping despite the fact that the New York Knicks completely outworked and outplayed them. But I'm going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings first because I have a lot to get off my chest. Before I get into that, I'm your host, Skylar Weisberg. It is my honor and privilege to be your host of Let 'Em Know Kings, and you can find Let 'Em Know Kings, which is free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Stitcher, Spotify, or anchor.fm/CLESK. That is anchor.fm/CLESK. You can download the Spotify for Podcasters app on your iTunes or Google Play stores. Please give the show a follow on those platforms that I just mentioned. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode, which drops tomorrow, which drops on Saturday after Kings and Warriors game number 6. Or maybe I can record right after game 6 on Friday. So I'm not really sure when I'm going to record the next episode, but just know it will be after Kings and Warriors game 6. If you could please rate and spread the word out to your friends about Let 'Em Know Kings, I would truly appreciate that. And thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 14 of Let 'Em Know Kings, the post-game podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Sacramento Kings. Well, the Golden State Warriors have officially taken control of the driver's seat after stealing Game 5 on the road 123-116 over the Sacramento Kings as the Warriors take a 3-2 series lead. I want to start off this show by saying this. The Golden State Warriors have a championship mental toughness that the Sacramento Kings, in my opinion, do not have yet. I'm not saying that the Sacramento Kings are built for the playoffs. I'm not saying are not built for the playoffs, I should say. I'm not saying that the Sacramento Kings are a really bad team and this playoffs have proved it. No, I still think that the Sacramento Kings are a really talented basketball team. But the thing is with me is you're going against the reigning defending undisputed NBA champions. You're going against the Golden State team that has been through these playoffs before, right? You're going against a Golden State team that, for the most part, I think the Sacramento Kings did a good job of limiting their scoring defensively. Now, the Sacramento Kings made a few key mistakes in this game, like allowing Steph Curry to end the game, allowing Kevon Looney to get in the paint and simply bully Domantas Sabonis like he's been bullying Domantas all series. And the biggest thing that stands out to me about this unfortunate loss for the Sacramento Kings is, where in the hell are the three-point shots, bro? I mean, you have the top offense in the NBA this year. And most of the offense for the Sacramento Kings is live or is living or dead by the three-pointers. And unfortunately for Sacramento, the three-point shots were not falling for them. And the Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, took the last game that was in this building, I believe it was game 2, back on April 17th, a little more personal. And here's why I think they took it personal. Do you remember in game 2, after the final whistle was blown, a 114-106 victory by the Sacramento Kings? And I said on this show that the Sacramento Kings were absolutely for real, and I still think that they are for real. Some of the fans waved the Golden State Warriors off. They automatically thought that the Sacramento Kings were eventually going to sweep the Golden State Warriors. I will say this on the record. I did not say that the Sacramento Kings were going to sweep the Golden State Warriors. I said prior to the start of this series that this series could possibly go 7. And to some of the fans that waved the Golden State Warriors off, this is all on y'all. This is all on y'all because you don't understand that the Golden State Warriors have a championship mental toughness that the Sacramento Kings honestly do not have. They are a good team. They have a really good coach in Mike Brown, who won the Coach of the Year, well-deserved. They have the clutch player of the year in De'Aaron Fox, well-deserved, who was more tough than anybody in the Sacramento Kings, to be honest, playing this game coming off a finger injury, which we thought that De'Aaron Fox was going to be doubtful for this game, but ultimately played. But look, the Golden State Warriors showcased their experience and resiliency in this game. Steve Kerr, after the game, said, and I quote, "The experience that they had over the last decade playing in a lot of big games, it was definitely helpful." He thought that they did a great job of staying poised down the stretch when Sacramento made their run and really made some big plays in the last 5 minutes to seal it. I mean, look, when you are a dynasty of the Golden State Warriors that have been through and played through tough games for over a decade, the experience is going to fuel you. The experience is going to fuel you. And I think that the Golden State Warriors did a magnificent job. They did a magnificent job setting the tone and controlling the pace in the second half. And I think that players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green were honestly better than De'Aaron Fox, better than Malik Monk, better than Domantas Sabonis, better than Keegan Murray. Now, let me say this. How in the living hell can Keegan Murray only score 10 points in 30-something minutes? That's pathetic. No, it's not pathetic on Keegan Murray because I think Keegan Murray had another great performance coming off the best game that he has ever played in Game 4. But how can you not give Keegan Murray the basketball? How could you not allow the best three-point shooting rookie all season to absolutely let you get back in it? I am putting the blame on the coaching staff, and I'm putting the blame on the Sacramento Kings for not getting this man going, for not getting Keegan Murray going. Listen to this. The Sacramento Kings went from shooting 8 for 12 from three-point range in the first quarter to 0 for 9 in the second quarter. The Kings went 2 for 21 from 3 over the final 3 quarters. That's not good enough. That is absolutely not good enough, especially when you are playing against the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champions. That's not good enough. So now that the Sacramento Kings are in a must-win situation tomorrow night, you either win Game 6 on the road and force a Game 7, which I believe that they can. I believe that the Sacramento Kings will be ready for Game 6, but you are going to the Chase Center, which is going to be loud, raucous, all of that, kind of like the Golden One Center was last night. And I want to give credit to the Sacramento Kings fans for absolutely bringing the energy in this game. So if the Sacramento Kings do not show mental toughness, do not show resiliency like we talked about, do not show that the Kings were ready for this, their season will be over come tomorrow night. And I'm gonna have to record a depressing episode of Let Them Know Kings, recapping the Kings' end to the season at the hands of the Golden State Warriors. I do not want that to happen, but that could potentially happen if the Golden State Warriors have the way with the Sacramento Kings like they did tonight. The stats for this game, pretty telling. 52% from the field for Golden State, 46% from the field for Sacramento. 10 threes made for Sacramento, 11 threes made for Golden State. The free throw percentage, 84 to 63. Percentage-wise in favor of the Kings, the rebounding was pretty even. The assists, 33 to 22. I will say this. The Golden State Warriors beat the Sacramento Kings at their own game. Offensively, the Golden State Warriors beat the Kings at their own game with the assist numbers. 19 turnovers committed by Sacramento. That's not good enough against the reigning defending undisputed NBA champions. 60 points in the paint compared to 56 for Golden State. The technical fouls were 1-0 thanks to De'Aaron Fox, who I think did not show poise when he made that foul, when he said, that's a bleeping foul. I'm not going to curse in the show. I'm not going to curse in the Kings segment because I think the Sacramento Kings were resilient for the most part. It's just the championship mental that the Golden State Warriors have beat the Sacramento Kings, and the Kings did not have that. I'm going to save all the cursing and all the ranting for the Cleveland Cavaliers because I have a lot to say about them. But for the Kings, De'Aaron Fox led the Kings once again in scoring with 24. He grabbed 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Domantas Sabonis, 21 points, 10 rebounds. He had a double-double. Keegan Murray only had 10 points in 35 minutes. Harrison Barnes with 13 points. Kevin Huerter with 9 points off the bench. Malik Monk with 21. Again, he was the best player off the bench for them. Davion Mitchell had 10 points. I mean, look, if there's one key to victory that I am going to say for the Sacramento Kings is we need the veterans to step the fuck up. Step the hell up. All of us. It's not just De'Aaron Fox. It's not just Malik Monk. It's not just Davion Mitchell, who I believe are the 3 guys right now that are proving to me that they are ready for the big stage, especially De'Aaron Fox. This dude is a bona fide star. But if you don't have the veteran presence of Harrison Barnes, who has been looking ice cold, Domantas Sabonis, who's getting bullied by Kevon Looney on the glass, which, by the way, I'm going to give credit to Kevon Looney too. He had 4 points last night, but 22 rebounds, 7 offensive. You cannot allow Kevon Looney to outwork you in the glass, Domantas Sabonis. You are the leading man in the NBA in rebounds. Play like it. Now, I'm going to give credit to Kevon Looney. I'm going to give credit to the Golden State Warriors for making adjustments on the Sacramento Kings. But still, you're the 3 seed. You're not the 6 seed like the Golden State Warriors. You're not like the 6 seed who was the worst team on the road all year. You are the 3rd seed. You have home court advantage. And if you lose tomorrow night, then there's going to be a lot of questions more than answers in the offseason. I'm questioning the lack of depth for Sacramento. I'm questioning the mental toughness of Sacramento. I'm questioning that the Kings, for the most part, were not ready to begin with the exception of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Davion Mitchell, who've been the 3 best players for the Sacramento Kings this series. It's win or go home for Sacramento. Either force Game 7 in your building, or the season is over for the Sacramento Kings. Listen, whether the Kings win or lose Game 6, I'm going to ultimately be proud of them because of the season that they have. But it will be an absolute heartbreaker if the Golden State Warriors beat the Sacramento Kings tomorrow night. It could happen, it could not. But either way, we'll see how the Sacramento Kings play out. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going all in on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because the Cleveland Cavaliers deserve what I need to say about them. As the Knicks bully the Cavs to end the season, I'm going to break that game down after the Welcome back to Let 'Em Know Kings. Before I get into my soliloquy about the Cleveland Cavaliers ending their season being over. I just want to thank each and every one of you once again for tuning in. And as a reminder, you can find Let 'Em Know Kings on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, and Anchor.fm/CLESK. Please follow, rate, and review wherever you get those podcasts on the platforms, and turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode, which drops tomorrow or Saturday after Game 6, the Warriors and the Kings. Now, excuse the deep breath that I need to take, because I have a lot to say about this next game. I have a lot to say because the New York Knicks last night officially ended the Cleveland Cavaliers season thanks to a 106-95 beatdown. It wasn't a close game. It wasn't competitive. It was a fucking beatdown by the New York Knicks over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Before I get into any of what I'm about to say, let me give the kudos especially to the New York Knicks. Let me give the kudos to them because the New York Knicks have officially outplayed the Cleveland Cavaliers all series. You can argue they have outplayed the Cleveland Cavaliers all season long. Yes, they took the series 3-1 in the regular season, and they continue to dominate the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially when it matters. When it matters the most, the New York Knicks showed up and showed out. And for the only second time in 23 years, for only the second time in the last 2 decades, the New York Knicks are moving on in the NBA playoffs. They are taking on the Miami Heat in the second round, which I believe is going to be a monster series. It is going to be a competitive series. It's going to be an entertaining series. And let me say this, give me the New York Knicks in 6 games. I think Jimmy Butler is going to give Mitchell Robinson all he can handle. I think Jimmy Butler and Jalen Brunson are going to put on a show scoring-wise. And I think the offensive rebounding for the New York Knicks will have a slight advantage over the Miami Heat because clearly the offensive rebounding of the Knicks manhandled the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Jalen Brunson manhandled the Cleveland Cavaliers all series because Jalen Brunson averaged 24 points in the series and led the New York Knicks in scoring all 4 wins while outplaying for the second straight postseason. Outplayed Donovan Mitchell. I think Davion Mitchell is exposed. Donovan Mitchell is exposed. Why am I thinking Davion? Because Davion Mitchell for the Sacramento Kings was the only Mitchell that played well in the playoffs. But it's not about the Sacramento Kings right now. It's about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I'm fucking pissed off at. Donovan Mitchell was outplayed and outworked by the New York Knicks. Now, let me give credit to the New York Knicks defense because Tom Thibodeau is a scrappy-ass coach. He is a scrappy coach who knew the game plan for the Cleveland Cavaliers and who knew that they are one of the best offenses, in my opinion. But I think another factor that the New York Knicks won this series at is because the New York Knicks played in such a quick pace, and Cleveland is the slowest team in the NBA. The slowest team in the NBA this season was the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks exposed that. The New York Knicks exposed the pace. Last year, Jalen Brunson, when he was with the Dallas Mavericks, got the best of Donovan Mitchell when he was in Utah. So how the fuck can you allow Jalen Brunson to beat your ass twice, Donovan Mitchell? Twice! Once when you were in Utah, and now you get beat by him in Cleveland. Is Jalen Brunson the kryptonite of Donovan Mitchell? Hell yes, he is. Hell yes, he is, and he proved that. He proved that last night. He averaged 24 points in this series. He was the best player of both teams. Of both teams. That's why I think Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks are going to beat the Miami Heat in 6 games. Will Jimmy Butler go off? Absolutely he will go off. He is on a tear right now. But I am more confident in the New York Knicks beating the Miami Heat because Madison Square Garden is going to be a fucking madhouse. It is going to be absolutely crazy, and I am really, really excited about that series. Tom Thibodeau was really proud of this team and the way that they showed grit. The tradition of the New York Knicks, not only what it means for the city and the league. Jalen Brunson said, they have the best fans, the best city, best arena. They respond this way the team plays. It plays hard, it plays smart, and it plays together. And that is a really big thing coming from the New York Knicks, because Tom Thibodeau outcoached the New York Knicks. Or outcoached the Cleveland Cavaliers, I should say. He outcoached J.B. Bickerstaff. He recognized that he had more experience than JB, and the New York Knicks did a really good job of exposing that. The New York Knicks won this game without Julius Randle and Quentin Grimes. Well, I should say that Julius Randle played for the first half, and Quentin Grimes was out for the second straight game with a bruised right shoulder. He's been out since absorbing a hit in the first half of Game 3. The Knicks, with this win, improved to 13-2 in the postseason against Cleveland, winning all 4 series in 95, 96, 1978, and now this year. I cannot believe I'm about to say this right now. I cannot believe what I am saying. I cannot believe what I'm about to say right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers were a bunch of bullshit last night. A bunch of bullshit. And the New York Knicks have exposed the Cleveland Cavaliers. Exposed them for the frauds that they are. I don't think Cleveland was ready for this series. We weren't ready. The Cleveland Cavaliers were not ready. Because Donovan Mitchell scored 28 points and Darius Garland scored 21 for the Cavs last night, who won 51 games during the regular season. I get all of that. They were the number 1 defense in the NBA. I'm going to give credit to where credit is due on that, because the Cleveland Cavaliers did have a really good regular season with 51 wins. I get all of that. Who made the playoffs without LeBron for the first time since 98. I get all of that. But the Cleveland Cavaliers were not fucking ready for this stage, because they were not tough, they were not physical, they did not box out Mitchell Robinson, they did not allow Mitchell Robinson to not crash any boards, because the Cleveland Cavaliers were soft as tissue paper. Soft. The Cavs were soft. I hate to say it about my Cleveland Cavaliers, but that's the main point. The Cavs were soft. For it to end this way, it didn't feel right, Donovan Mitchell said. And I love what Donovan Mitchell said. They outplayed us. They outplayed the New York Knicks, that is. They outplayed the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks did their job, and the Cavs didn't. The Cavs didn't do nothing to prepare for this series. They did not read the scouting report. They did not know how to prepare for Jalen Brunson. They did not know how to be tough when Mitchell Robinson was getting in the paint. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, I'm looking at the both of you. Not so much of Evan Mobley, because this is his first playoff series, and I think he's going to be an up-and-coming star. But Jared Allen, you need to get the fuck up out of here. You need to get the hell out of Cleveland, bro. How can you allow yourself to get out tough and out physical, and simply Mitchell Robinson kicked your ass? Simply Mitchell Robinson kicked your ass all series. Jared Allen, you have a lot of explaining to do, man. You have a lot to explain to do. Donovan Mitchell, you need to play better. You need to be better. Darius Garland, I'm going to give you a little bit of a credit. You showed a little effort in Game 4 to try to get the Cavs back in it, but the Cleveland Cavaliers have a lot of questions in the offseason. And I am putting the blame on multiple people. I am putting the blame on the front office for not getting the Cavs ready for the playoffs. I think the front office was too complacent back at the trade deadline, and this series loss proved it. I think if you're the Utah Jazz, you won the trade of getting Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, and Agbaji to get Donovan Mitchell. If you are a Utah Jazz fan, or if you support the Utah Jazz, you have every reason to celebrate because you won the damn trade. And that proves to me that without LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers are absolutely nothing. Nothing without LeBron James. Because unlike Donovan Mitchell, unlike Darius Garland, unlike Evan Mobley, LeBron James understood and he knew how to win in the playoffs. Because the Cavaliers hoped to recapture some of its 2016 magic and overcame a 3-1 deficit like LeBron James and the Cavs did to shock Golden State. But unfortunately, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and the grit that the New York Knicks have shown have proved that the Cleveland Cavaliers have a lot to work on. Donovan Mitchell made just 13 out of 45 three-pointers. That is 29% from three-point range and averaged 23.2 points this series, below his regular season average. With 23 points and 10 assists in Game 4, Darius Garland became the second Cleveland player who is 23 or younger to post these totals in the playoff games. LeBron James did it 8 times with the Cavs. Cleveland is 46-15 at home since 2008 in the playoffs, losing elimination games in the arena in 2015, 2018, and this year. Look. If you want to be a contender, Cleveland Cavaliers, if you want to be a team that rises up next year, you need to get more depth. You need a genuine 3. Because Caris LeVert, despite how well he has been playing the last few games, he could be reliable, but he's not a true 3. Isaac Okoro, he's terrible on the offensive end. But I think defense, he did great, and he did play well this game. Get Cedi Osman the fuck up out of Cleveland. He's not ready for this. And Jared Allen, you need to be traded, my guy. You need to be traded and moved on to a better team. Go back to Brooklyn and get Royce O'Neal the hell up in here. Get somebody in here who is more mentally tough and more mentally physical than Jared Allen, because you're soft as tissue paper, bro. 46% shooting from the Cavs last night, 43.5% for the New York Knicks. But again, how can you get out-rebounded offensively 17-4? How can you get out-rebounded 48-30, 17-4 on the offensive glass? Here's what happened. The New York Knicks hit the weight room, and the Cavs were joking around. They were joking around, having fun with your friends like high schoolers, instead of hitting the weight room and putting in the work. I want to give credit to the New York Knicks because they were more tougher than you. They played more physical than you. They were more mentally ready than you. And the Cavs, y'all are soft, man. Y'all are soft. You disrespected the New York Knicks. You were not physical. You didn't come ready to play, and the New York Knicks gave y'all what you deserved. Jalen Brunson finished with 23 points. Mitchell Robinson had 13 points. 11 offensive rebounds. 18 rebounds in total. Julius Randle with 13 points. Off the bench, Obi Toppin with 12. Emmanuel quickly went off on the bench with 19 for the New York Knicks. For the Cavs, Davion Mitchell with 28. Darius Garland with 21. Evan Mobley, 6 points, 9 rebounds. Jared Allen, who's the softest center in the NBA, with 4 points and 4 rebounds. Off the bench, Isaac Okoro with 10 points. He did play really well. Caris LeVert did play well as well with 17 points and 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So a lot of questions that needs to be answered for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Are the Cavaliers truly contenders? Because as of right now, unless we make some changes to the offseason, the Cavs are pretenders. I need to apologize to LeBron James because we proved without LeBron the Cavs ain't shit. The Utah Jazz won the trade. And if you're Kobe Altman and the front office of the Cavs, you need to get more depth. You need to get more depth to back up Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell because it's too much of a top-heavy roster. And you cannot win games with a top-heavy roster. You need depth like the New York Knicks have. The Knicks had more depth, they had more production, and they outworked y'all. They outplayed y'all, they outworked y'all. The Cavs were truly not ready for home court advantage. They were truly not ready to be a 4 seed. Hell, despite the fact that they had a 51-win regular season, despite the fact that I think the Cleveland Cavaliers, for the most part, did let them know in the regular season, they let them know in the playoffs that the Cavs ain't shit. The Cavs ain't shit in the postseason. I hope in the offseason the Cavs get better because we need to be back with a vengeance come October. All credit to the Knicks. Cavs have a lot to think about. With that, that's going to do it for today's episode of Let 'Em Know Kings. You can find this show on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor.fm/CLESK, or download the Spotify for Podcasters app. Please give the show a follow on the platforms. Please rate and review and tell all your friends about the show and turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode, which drops tomorrow or Saturday after Kings and Warriors Game 6. This is Skylar Weisberg, and until next time, no matter where you go, be prepared to let them know. Great season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they just learned a really hard lesson about toughness. And for the Kings, it's a must-win Game 6 for them. I will be back to recap that. But until then, peace out, y'all, and I hope that the next game is not the season finale of Let 'Em Know Kings, because it could potentially happen. I'll see you after Game 6, Warriors-Kings. Peace out, everybody.